What's up, YouTube? This is MetallicTCG, and today we're coming out with an interesting product opening. This is actually one of the newest things that just dropped in the One Piece TCG, the Ultra Deck, the 3 Captains, this thing is huge. Like, just for comparison's sake, let me grab the one of the other deck boxes. Look at the size comparison. Like, it literally takes up about, it's almost like more than double the size of a regular deck, which is insane. But after seeing some recent information about like what actually is coming with this deck, I had to pick it up because there's some really good reprints. If you're new to the channel, don't forget to hit subscribe to check out for more content, and hopefully some One Piece content. I'd love to get some more of this stuff out here because honestly, I really do like this game. Anyway, let's jump into it. So we do get a little bit more than your average One Piece deck. Not only do we actually get a deck, but we actually get a little bit more information, like stuff here too. So one thing is a deck box, which I gotta say, the deck box does look pretty cool. You got Luffy, you got Kid, the compass symbol on the back. You also got Law, but yeah, like it seems like a pretty decent quality. And then inside, we actually have the deck, which this is a very interesting one. Oh, it also even comes with the divider. So you can be able to like separate your Dawn from like your deck. So this thing is actually pretty beefy too. But it's also kind of cool because there are, hence the name 3 Captains. So there's 3 different leaders you can actually, just play out of the deck, I believe. Or you can do what most people are going to be doing, is just taking a part of the deck and just building a specific leader. I may be doing that. I'm not too sure which one I want to go for. But if you know, let me know in the comment section below if you're picking up this product and what leader you're going to build, if any. We also do get some Dawn, so let's separate that here really quick. Let's also zoom in a little bit. That's good. So the thing I actually like about this is I think this entire thing is like foil. So you get a foil Dawn, like complete, you need 10 Dawn to play the game. So having a foil blinged out copy of Dawn is pretty nice. So might be able to use that here. And then let's go over to the leaders here, shall we? So the first one we have is Law. So 4 life, 5 red, purple are the colors. So once per turn, you can return 3 Dawn from your field to your Dawn deck, and then place 1 of your opponent's characters with 3,000 in power or less at the bottom of the owner's deck, and then play up to 1 character with 4 or less from your hand. That is actually kind of cool. Like, it's a form of removal, but also just getting some stuff onto the board. And with red, there's a lot of really good 4-drops you could do. So Law seems pretty spicy, honestly. Law, you're looking like you might be the one I'll go for. Luffy, ooh, his life is actually 3, but to counteract that, Law's power is 5,000 while Luffy's is 6, so it makes it a bit harder to get over it. So once per turn, if you have 0 Dawn cards on your field or 8, and if you have 0 Dawn cards on your field or 8 or more Dark cards on your field, add up to 1, then set it as active. So, I mean, it's kind of a form of ramp, and it's very interesting. It's either like if you have no Dawn or a lot of Dawn, you just get more. So Luffy, he seems pretty interesting. I don't think I'd probably go for this one though, honestly. And then for the last one, we have Kid. So Kid has 5,000. He also has 5 life. So actually 1 more than Law. But with Kid, if you have 4 or more life cards, give this leader minus 1,000. And then when attacking, you can remove 1 Dawn from the Dawn field to your deck. And then this card gains 2,000 during this turn. So it's kind of like, again, Dawn manipulation where you can be able to get some value. Honestly, out of the 3 ones, I would probably build Law. Just, I kind of like the playstyle, how you can be able to remove something and get something out of it. So to me, that seems pretty cool. And of course, I think the entire deck is also foil, which is fantastic. We got 2 copies of Luffy. Dropping from 10th. You could use him for 10. He has 11,000. He has Rush, so you can be able to attack him the turn he's played. And then once per turn, if your opponent activates a blocker, you can key up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 8,000 or less. So it's kind of like an aggro push. I kind of like that Luffy. A little bit hard to get him out, but pretty good for the late game from the looks of it. We got 2 copies of Law. So with Law, so he has a blocker, which is pretty good. So if somebody tries to attack it, you can just set Law in front of him. So when on play, you can -1 Dawn. If your opponent has 7 or more cards in their hand, you get the trash 2. not bad actually. Just being able to rip cards out of your opponent's hand is pretty good, because during like, you know, the damage, I don't know the exact terminology, but it kind of like prevents your opponent from having things where they could just like, you know, use like the counters like during the damage step when you declare your attack. We have 2 copies of Kid. So 7 for an 8k. When he's attacking on Dawn and on play, you can be able to, your leader, up to 1 leader gains 1,000 power till the end of the next turn. Oh, not too bad. Just, you know, buffing up something is pretty good. Pretty decent. So some of the reprints in this are actually fantastic. I've been meaning to get this copy of Zoro for a while, and this deck actually comes with 4. So what's really cool about this Zoro, it's 3 for a 5,000 and it has Rush. So I wanted to build a pretty red aggro deck. So having this just as a reprint is fantastic for that. Really accessible. And also the art does look pretty cool. We also have 4 copies of Nami, rip the ban list. Temporary, I still don't know what the hell's going on. But Nami is fantastic. When in play, you get to look at the top 5 cards from your deck, add a straw hat among them except for Nami, and then just put the rest at the bottom. So just being able to search out things, get your pieces, fantastic. For those who are curious, I was trying to build the mono red Luffy from the starter deck wave 1, I believe. Seems like a pretty fun build. We also got our copies of 4 Sanji. So on play, if your opponent has a character of 5,000 or more, this card gains Rush. So again, just get out there, start kicking and swinging. We got 2 copies of Jinbei. Gotta say, like, the art looks fantastic on all these. On attacking, if he has 1 Dawn, you get to be able to make one of your opponent's characters minus 2,000 power. Not too shabby. But again, you just have to have him attacking, which is not the biggest deal. 4 copies of Killer. Sorry about that. Once per turn, when a Dawn card on your field is returned to your Dawn deck, up to 1 of your opponent's characters. Ooh, rested characters that cost 3 or less. That's actually kind of cool, actually, because purple has a lot of like Dawn manipulation where you send it back and then use it to like send it back to like pay for cost. So just being able to have a positive effect when that happens, something super consistent, it's pretty cool. We have 4 copies of Shachi and Penguin. So if you have 3 or less Dawn cards in your field, add up to 2 from your deck to the field and then rest them. I mean, that's actually pretty cool. I'm not super familiar with purple if it has like manipulation where you can be able to equip rested Dawn, but the fact it's also a counter 2,000 is also pretty cool too. And then we have, let's see, we got 4, there's like 4s like almost everything in this deck, which is really cool. I like how One Piece does that. So on play, you may rest up a specific amount of Dawn, and if you do, you get to add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck and set it as active. So that's actually pretty cool. So you could just be able to summon him, turn 1 of your Dawn rested, and then just get another Dawn from your Dawn deck to the field. Just kind of like a pseudo ramp. Again, still kind of a One Piece scrub, but that's just kind of like how I would see that being used. Then we have 4 copies of Heat. This dude does not look Heat. With Heat, your turn once per turn. When a Dawn card in your field is returned to your Dawn deck, this card gains 2,000 until the start of your next turn. That's actually kind of cool, that the fact that it lasts even to your opponent's turn too. So neat. We got 4 copies of Beppo. On play and attacking, when your opponent has more Dawn cards in the field than you can add up a Dawn and set it as rest. Again, just a lot of Dawn manipulation. So purple seems interesting for that. So I might have to definitely take a look at the Dawn, like the purple style, and probably build the Law, because Law seems fun. 4 copies of Wire. He is a blocker, which is pretty good. And then once per turn, when a Dawn card in your field is returned to your Dawn deck, you can draw a card and then trash a card from your hand. Not too bad, honestly. Just ripping for resources is always pretty good. And then we actually have some event cards. We got 2 copies of Gum Gum Giant Sumo Slap. It's a counter up to, so you get to play it, or you get to use a counter. Up to 1 of your leader or characters gains 2,000 resist attack and up to 1 of your opponent's characters with 2,000 or less. Honestly, this could be pretty good just to be able to get rid of like some easy chump blockers. One Piece currently, I don't believe, does like piercing or trample. So just being able to like kind of get this counter to go off and be able to buff your leader and then like reduce and get rid of one of their blockers so you can just start swinging at their leader seems pretty decent. Gum Gum Gatling. So you can pay 5. The main effect is you get to KO up a character with 7,000 power or less. That's actually that's a considerable of characters. And then if it's added to your deck from your hand from taking life damage as a trigger, you get to add up to one of your leader gains 1,000 till the end of the turn. Not bad. And then the last 2 cards we have here is Punk Vise. So the main effect for paying 3, rest up to one of your opponent's characters with the cost of 2 or less, and then add 1 Dawn from your deck to your hand, from your deck to your field and rest it. Or you get to do the same thing, add up to 1 Dawn from your Dawn deck, and then set it as active. So again, purple has a lot of Dawn manipulation, which honestly kind of seems like a fun, interesting take, especially with red, because red it typically has very aggro plays, quite a bit of consistency. It seems like red is one of the more stronger colors in One Piece, just based on what I've seen with some of the cards. But overall, this seems like a pretty solid thing to pick up. I mean, honestly, for me, the Zoros and the Nami were pretty cool. But honestly, after seeing Law, I might have to go for the Law build. But yeah, that's going to be it. Overall, pretty happy with this One Piece pickup. Again, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more content. I'll try to actually get some One Piece stuff on the channel. But yeah, that's going to be it for me, everybody. Have a great rest of your night. Never been the best at any of these unboxing, unpacking episode videos, so peace.